And
All
we're
right,
rolling.
here we are.
Third
We're rolling
attempt.
again for the third time. There we go. Fresh off of a
Absolutely.
$180 subscription to Riverside, so
Yeah.
this
Fully
podcast is
committed now.
happening for at least a year. Welcome to the Professional Casual Fan Podcast. PCFP, not PCP. PCFP. I'm Andy
PCFP.
Palm.
And I'm Cole Denis.
PCFP. We are PCFP number one. I'm Professional Casual Fan 1. He's Professional Casual Fan 2. Or the other way around. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, but because of age,
we
he
are both
is.
professional.
He has
Yeah, I have seniority
priority.
now. Yeah. I am the captain. So,
Captain of the team.
yeah, I'm Andy Palm. I am a big-time Commanders fan for some reason. Big-time Orioles fan for some reason. Big-time Sixers fan for some reason. Big-time Capitals fan for some reason. And we're here to just talk sports, see what comes to our mind. Maybe we talk about our roommates dropping a big one, and we
Dropping
have to
loads.
supply the utilities for them to let said log be discharged into the South Carolina plumbing systems. And then sometimes we'll actually talk about sports. So,
yeah.
Mr.
Well,
Dennis,
I'll
introduce yourself.
I'm Cole Denis, Steelers fan because I'm a Pops. Orioles fan because where we live, the good old Maryland, and the O's are looking real solid this year. So really got back into baseball this year. Basketball, don't really have a favorite team. Just gonna dick ride LeBron probably. And then favorite soccer team, Wrexham AFC right now. Ryan Reynolds really putting it together over there.
There you go. They're on their way. Are they in League One now, or are they in the
No, they just got promoted to
Champion
League
League?
Two
Not the
this year.
Champions League, but there we go. Yeah, because what's the league below the Premier League? It's the Championship League or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's the Champion, and then League One, and then League Two, and then there's 4 leagues below League Two, which is wild.
Yeah,
But they're all semi-pro,
that stuff is
supposedly.
so crazy. I've just started last year, so getting into soccer. I used to I went through a phase back in right after high school. I was like the World Cup where Neymar kind of took over. I was like, all right, I'm a fucking Neymar fan, ride or die with him in Barcelona, and it just didn't happen. And then this year, I was like, I've always liked Man City's jersey, so I was like, I'll be a Man City fan. I knew they were good, but I didn't realize I was until I started following. I was like, oh, they're the
They're
best,
the top
maybe
team. Yeah,
ever
you're like,
to
damn, I
play.
just bandwagon that team.
Yeah, and I was still just walking around being like, yeah, I'm a Man City fan, just looking like a jackass, but
You're just like,
it's all good, dude. All my other teams, disappoint. I can just have one where I'm just winning literally everything you can possibly win.
Yeah, well,
And
I
it's
just
fun,
got into
no one
soccer
can tell me
yesterday. I watched the whole,
and now let's talk about
Wrexham AFC series.
the documentary.
Yeah, that stuff was actually really good. It's the real life Ted Lasso.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's real. I remember seeing it and thinking it was just some TV show on Hulu or whatever. And then I was like, oh, they actually bought a fucking team, which is wild.
I know, and they've actually it was really cool to see them just turn the city around, kind of that's their whole goal. They're like, we're gonna build this soccer team to build this city up.
Yeah, they have a tiny British city just riding on their they have a bunch of old British guys who are riding on their entire mental health is riding on Deadpool and Mac from Always Sunny's shoulders, which is
I'm not gonna
insane.
Try to make you look bad here,
That's
but
late stage capitalism.
It's technically Wales.
Wales?
I don't know if they're
going
British.
We're playing the region game here.
I don't know if they're British.
That is
I just
British.
don't.
Wales is.
It's a different
Wales is
country.
British territory,
I know it's a part of the
but
UK,
it's
but
British
it's like
territory.
a
Yeah. Like technically, we would have been British, right? Because this would have been like if we were still like if George fell short, then I think then we would technically be British.
That's true.
Anyway, we're getting way off track.
It's just
This is a
didn't
sports
realize we were gonna
podcast. You
start
know.
soccer. We're not even that committed to soccer.
Yeah. So we got football to get to. That'll be the main focus of today. The O's really squandered an opportunity in the baseball, the
Put it
wild
away.
card, and the playoff race in general.
Mm.
Really, what's up?
The O's really did.
Yeah, I mean the playoff race is
Squander
really
the
heating
game.
up. Yeah, I
It's
mean they
disappointing.
lose
Wanted
2
to
out of
see us.
3.
So we keep the delay. It's getting
He's
us.
glitching. It's all good.
It's like a comedy
We'll look
skit
back
every
at this
time.
when we're we'll look back at this when we're millionaires and be like, "Wow, that was the start." Or when we're still sitting in our parents'
Riverside and its
houses.
delays.
Yeah. We took Riverside to the fucking moon.
We
But
will.
yeah, the O's really screwed up this week. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals, which is unacceptable, especially when you're coming home off a West Coast trip that you did really well in and had a good series in Boston. And then you have the biggest series of the year with Tampa coming in basically for the East. And you lose game 1. So I'll be there tomorrow night for game 2, so hopefully they can pull that one out for Adam Jones' retirement. But well, no, we'll see. Anyway, there was a Thursday night game tonight that just finished up probably about 45 minutes ago. Eagles, Vikings. Vikings on the verge of going 0-2 after a shocking loss to Baker Mayfield and the powerhouse Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Eagles, who are coming off kind of just a weird win against the Patriots. And then the Eagles won tonight, 34-28, I think. Yeah.
Yes. It was
Did
an
you watch any
interesting
of it?
one. I watched the whole game, actually. The Eagles really should have ran away with this game tonight, if you ask me. The 4 turnovers early, they should have put it away real quick. They were up 20-7. Did they? Was it? I think no. They were up 27-7 was their biggest lead, I think, actually, and then they just let the Vikings really get back into it. But the Eagles really dominated just the trenches tonight, like 250 rush yards to 38. You're usually not winning that if you're the team with 38.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift had a crazy game, dude. He was like he had over 200, like you were saying. But at that fourth quarter, I mean, it was like the Vikings, like you knew what they were going to be doing. You know that they're just going to be trying to run, and you still can't stop them. So it's crazy that the Vikings knew that they had these weaknesses on defense from last year, knew they had weaknesses on the offensive line last year, and it just seems like they did nothing to address either problem. And I just think it's like they're an eerily similar team to what they were last year. They're 0-2 now. And the schedule, I don't know. I don't think it gets any easier from here. But, yeah, it was just a not great showing from Minnesota. They had a chance, though, all the way up until the end.
Yeah, it was solid for my prediction record, though. Right now, I'm sitting at 5-1 this year. The only game I got wrong was the Steelers.
The homeboys let you down.
The homeboys have let me down.
In a big way. Yeah.
No, the Eagles just going into this game, though, like, they just have, it seems like at every position, they just have a better player than the Vikings, besides Justin Jefferson. Like, Justin Jefferson's clearly the best receiver in the league. But just everywhere else.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, it's just the Eagles have more talent. And, like, it was clear you could see that, especially on the lines.
At one point tonight, they were saying that like him and Darius Slay were going back and forth, and it was like, no, they're not. It's just Justin Jefferson's like making plays, and every now and then Darius Slay would like maybe get lucky and it would be a little bit out of reach, but everything else is just Justin Jefferson catching anything that comes even remotely close to
Well,
him.
last year Slay locked him up, so I think this was a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, and then now Slay, I think, is, what is he, 31, 32 now?
Mm-hmm.
That's like fucking 106 in cornerback years.
Yeah. Also,
So
just saw
it's
Justin
it's bound to
Jefferson.
happen.
Justin Jefferson just surpassed
Yeah.
the all-time receiving record for any Bears receiver. Like, like he's had more receiving yards in his career already than any Bears receiver in their 100-year history.
That's insane, dude. That is, and he's only 24.
Yeah. That's
Just
wild.
unbelievable. Wow.
So do we want to move on to predictions?
Sure, let's do it. What do we got first on the slate?
So I was just running down the list of games. We're going to start at the 1 o'clock window with the Ravens and the Bengals.
There we go. The battle of the AFC North. Everybody's been talking about the week 2 battle between the Ravens and the Bengals. Where is it? Is it in Cincy or is it in Baltimore?
It is in Cincinnati.
I don't see Cincy going 0-2, do you?
No, I really don't. I just trust Joe more than Lamar. Both quarterbacks didn't look good week 1, but I really do trust Joe just to bounce back more than I do Lamar, because I don't know. I see a down year for Lamar coming, so I got the Bengals 28-24 in this game.
Yeah, I'd say I think Burrow last week was kind of you're kind of seeing this like all around the league right now, where all of these guys who played literally like 0 snaps in the preseason, and we're wondering why the offense has been absolute shit lately. And I mean, a lot of teams I think are really kind of going through their preseason right now, and with him just being injured and everything, like he wasn't even able to practice. So, I think he'll come back, and like I said, it really just come down to just thinking they're a better team. He's a big competitor, and I don't see them going 0-2 to start even though they started 0-2 last year, I'm pretty sure, didn't they? They lost that game against.
Yeah.
I remember they lost to Dallas
the Steelers.
and yeah.
Week 1 Steelers.
So, but yeah, I think they win. The Ravens offense looked kind of convoluted and sort of disjointed last week. Zay Flowers looked good, but they also lost. I don't think they're going to have Ronnie Stanley or Tyler Linderbaum, 2 of their starting offensive linemen. Obviously lost Dobbins for the whole year, so we'll see what happens. But I'm going Bengals. I think I'm going a little bit low scoring here, though. I think I'm going to go something weird. We're going to go like 19-13.
I like it. 19-13
like an ending, like a strip sack of Lamar at the end of the game.
Shuts him down. Sounds about right. Yeah, like you said.
So put that into your FanDuel apps.
Ravens are just riddled with the injuries again, year after year. It's so beautiful to see.
Yeah, it's something that they can just, they can throw it in the excuse bank every year, which is always fun.
They will
but they do get it really bad. I'll give it that.
Cornerbacks and running backs, it seems like.
They get pummeled.
They really do.
It's like it's like the Vietnam War sometimes out there. MNT Bank.
Getting hit by the Viet Cong.
Standing in the rice.
Just the booby traps.
Patties, whenever they're in rice fields.
Steps on the sideline, falls through into bamboo spikes.
Yeah. Odell's just like, ah! All right, what's next? What do we got?
We got the Seahawks and the Lions at Ford Field in Detroit.
Oh boy, Seahawks were weird because they played well. I thought, like there was like their offense looked pretty decent. Like it looked like Geno kind of was taking up right where he left off last year, and somehow LA just played better. Like that was a pretty well played game, but I don't know. Detroit just has that. Detroit's just got that grit right now, dude.
They do.
They're all
They're,
hustle. They're all dog, man.
they do.
So
It's that Dan
I
Campbell
think they got to give
mentality.
Jahmyr Gibbs a little bit more of a exactly. They got to give Jahmyr Gibbs a few more touches, which I think you'll see as the season goes along. But I think I'm going to go Detroit 28, Seattle 20.
I'm writing these down. I'm keeping track of our
All right,
record against each other.
keeping the receipts.
I'm actually, yeah, keeping the receipts. I'm actually going different than from you here because I don't know, Seattle last week just had a terrible second half, and I feel like Geno's gonna want to come out strong. And last year, when these two played each other, it was a shootout where the Seahawks won 48-45, and it was like that. It was really the game that really I feel like put Geno on the map last year, and people were like, "Oh shit,
hmm
maybe this guy can be something." Actually, so I
I'm
think
like,
it's actually
this the Jets guy?
yeah, is this the dude that got his face punched by his teammate?
That fucking Jet guy? Yeah.
But also, I just think Seattle's secondary is better, so I give them a defensive advantage. I really don't trust Detroit's defense still, even though they did put on a good showing against Patrick Mahomes last week. I still think that was more receivers' faults than the Detroit Lions actually being studs at defense. So I'm going to take the Seahawks in another high scoring affair between these two, 42-38.
Whew. There we go. An
Big number.
aerial assault.
Again.
We got to quit with the military references. Every single game has some kind of
That's just
military
football
illusion.
though. There's a lot of military references in
Yeah.
football, I feel like.
They're like, they got some tanks.
They got some nuclear bombs. What?
Let me tell you, this boy's got drones out the yin yang. You see the predators flying around.
Back on topic. Colts Texans in Houston. The duel of the rookies.
Yeah, we got the toilet bowl here. They're gonna need your plunger.
They're gonna. This is a May one for sure.
Let's go. I'm gonna go Indianapolis. Actually, I feel like this is a game where you really look at which coach do you trust more.
Yeah.
Because you got two young teams.
They're
I think
both
I'm gonna go Texans.
rookie coaches too.
Yeah, and I think D'Amico Ryans I think is going to be a good coach. And they it wasn't a pretty game at all, and they kind of made it hard for the Ravens, and especially in that first half. So I think it's not a pretty game by no means, by any means. So, but I think Houston ends up pulling that one out. I think Stroud has a decent game, but it's mostly the defense showing up. D'Amico Ryans flexing his defensive pedigree against Shane Steichen and his offensive mind.
I
don't know where I was going
like
with that,
what you're saying.
Yeah.
This is a toss-up. To me, this game really could go either way. You're saying you're trusting the coach. I'm going to put faith in the roster over the coach. I think the Colts have a better roster. We do have to remember 2 years ago they were in the playoff hunt, and I feel like they got most of the same players. So, and I don't know.
Hmm.
Aaron, AR, what's his name? Anthony Richardson. He looked better. I feel like he showed more flashes last week than CJ Stroud. I feel like most of CJ Stroud's numbers were put up late in that game. So I'm taking the Colts
Hmm.
in a fun little thriller 2017 over the Texans.
Fun little shootout down south.
Yeah.
It's in Houston, right?
Yeah, it's in
Yeah.
Houston.
Um. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think the roster is that much incrementally better than Houston's. And like I said, I just felt like Houston played not a better game, but like they just seemed to. There was more like just heart out there. I hate to use that kind of like that non-measurable kind of thing,
Right.
but in this kind of game, I just feel they just have those intangibles out there that they're just a terrible team who just is trying to do whatever they can to get one win. But um, yeah, I think Houston wins. I guess I got to go with a score, huh? We'll go 23-17. Is that what you said too?
No, I said 2017. You could say what I say,
All
though.
right, we'll go 3 points more. I'll take the
But
over.
yeah, I think the Texans do have way more like potential on that team than the Colts have. But I don't know.
Yeah, I
This
just
this
don't know
one's
if I
just
believe in Anthony Richardson because there we go.
there we go.
Are you there? All right.
Yeah, I'm
We
there.
got another glitch, but it's all good. Yeah. Yeah, I know Anthony Richardson wasn't particularly good in college. It's just like Lamar.
Hmm.
Like everybody is just trying to find the next Lamar, and he kind of resembles Lamar
Yeah.
in a lot of ways in his playing style and everything. So it's and it's just he's not Lamar. And he
He's
can
not.
grow into that, but like right now I think he's just incredibly raw, and Stroud is better than him at this point. But it's not like I said, I don't think it's a quarterback battle at all. I think it's just I think Houston wins that game just because I think a, they want it more. There we go.
They want it
We'll throw
more.
that one out. Everybody loves it when people say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They might want it more. We'll find out.
All right, next.
Bears at Bucks. And dare I say it, but with Baker will start the season 2-0. The Bears are just not as good as a team
Wow.
as they. I just don't have any faith in the Bears. There's been a lot of hype for no reason this offseason, and I just haven't gotten it for Justin Fields and the Bears. He's proven nothing in the league. I know he hasn't had the talent, but still, I feel
Yeah.
like if you're a solid quarterback, you can make up for a lack of talent in some way. It just, I don't know. He can run, but anytime he drops back
They
to pass, I just have no faith.
Yeah, they want him to be bad, or they want him to be good so badly, like the league, because they want that Chicago market to be booming again. That he's that electrifying kind of player who the league loves, that like everybody would love to watch. That he's a big time seller on primetime games. The problem is he's just not that good, and anytime you watch him, it always just looks like the highlights and everything do not nearly do justice for how clunky all of his performances are. Even the good
Mm,
games he had last year were like marred by like turnovers and sacks, and the team is just not good enough. And I feel like it's almost like their GM Ryan Poles like bought into all of the hype around Justin Fields without actually watching it. And I think trading for DJ Moore, like giving up the what they gave a first round pick. They gave him the first
yeah,
overall for him,
yeah, they gave up
and
the first
I
overall.
just think Yeah, and DJ Moore is not nearly good enough to justify that. And their defense is kind of made up of like a bunch of guys who I don't even know if would start on other teams. And I'm just like railing the Bears right now. It's not even like the Bucks are even that good either, but
No, they're
I
not.
agree with you. I think the Bucks defense is really, really good.
Yes, I agree completely. I think we're gonna be in agreement completely on this game, just because we both like the Bucks defense, and we're both just calling out what it is. The Bears just aren't what people think they are. I feel like.
Yeah, we're just like I just went on a 45-second rant about the Bears. But
Well,
yeah, I'd say I'm gonna go Tampa Bay.
you can finish. Sorry.
You saying something? Oh, okay. Tampa Bay. I'm going to go 21-10. Yeah.
I have a lot of the same thoughts. My last comment on the Bears is you can't just bring in one good receiver and a couple solid defensive players and the rebuild's over. Like, the team's not where it needs to be at all. I'm taking the Bucks 28-10.
There we go. Blowout.
So
Bucker. The
yeah.
Bucks and Baker. I said Buck and Baker. I meant to say Baker, and I said Bucker. Yes.
I think there's a lot of
But,
potential, honestly, for some
yeah,
reason,
Baker.
with the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't look bad last week. That's for sure. He could have looked a lot worse.
Yeah. This is going to be
All right,
probably
next up.
game of the week. Game of the week, probably, most likely. Chiefs, Jaguars, the King versus the Prince, Mahomes versus Lawrence. Who you got?
I don't see Kansas City going 0-2. So I'm going to go Chiefs in a close one, big time rematch. It kills me that the Jags lost that game. If Agnew doesn't fumble that ball, I really do think they win that game.
Yeah, same.
I'm going to go Chiefs win it 34-31.
34-31. I like the thought process between it being a close game. I got this game being pretty close. Like you said, a rematch from the divisional round. I think the Jaguars were really close last year to being able to knock off the Chiefs and stop them from getting to that Super Bowl. Last time they also held Mahomes under 200 yards passing, which was pretty impressive to me. And then, I don't know. I think this is Trevor Lawrence's ascension year, where he just becomes into that next tier of quarterback where everyone's thinking he's a top 3 quarterback in the league. And Ridley is a true number 1 threat, I feel like, also down there. Like, bringing him in from the Falcons was a great move by them.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah, he's really
weapon
balling
at
out.
receiver. I'm taking the Jags 27-24.
Yeah. I would love for the Jags to win that game.
It would be beautiful, especially because I just put a bet on it. I got a 5-leg parlay on money
Dougie
lines
P and the
this
boys.
week.
How are you putting it in down there?
I call my bookie, my mom, and I'm like, hey.
He's putting it in. There you go. That's the way to do it.
It is. So
right.
next game,
What else we got? I'm
Packers
starting my
at Falcons.
Packers. I think the Packers are actually going to be. They are my dark horse team to win the NFC North.
I like it. I like that pick a lot. They're actually underdogs in this game again, even after last week when they were underdogs. So I'm also taking the Packers. Love in his one game looked way better than Ritter did. Ritter looked, he was 15 for 18, good completion percentage, but only for 115 yards. So he's really not pushing the ball downfield at all, as they referred to it as the dink and
Mr.
Dak
Check
method.
down.
But
Yeah.
this is
Yeah, I just think the Packers looked really good, and Jordan Love didn't look flustered at all, or like he didn't look really like he was out of place at all in that game. There was a lot of plays where he had pressure right in his face, and he was just able to kind of look his progressions through it. And he had one pass that was really impressive. He just like was under siege, and he just kind of looked up, and the dude was, I mean, he was wide open, but it was just a great throw. And but yeah, I think the Packers, their roster's still built to compete right now, and I think hopefully Christian Watson's playing this week, but they have some players who weren't playing well last year, like Romeo Dobbs, who are for
mhm.
whatever reason like finding their stride now, and Aaron Jones. Is he playing?
He did play. He went off last week. Or you asked him for this weekend?
No, is he gonna? Because he had that one touchdown, but he came up kind of lame.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna play. It didn't say that he was out. I know he's questionable, but I think he was at practice today.
Yeah.
Let me just pull this up real quick.
Anyway, for the whole season, I mean, they got him and they got AJ Dillon, which is a really good 1-2 punch in the backfield, and I think they're a good team. I don't know how far they go in the playoffs, but I do think they're going to make the playoffs.
Oh, actually, Aaron Jones did not practice today, so he could not be there. But I still trust the
Yeah,
Packers way more than Desmond Ritter and the Falcons, like you said.
yeah.
Love
I
just
think I think the Packers win it.
cool, calm, and collected out there.
Yeah, yeah. I think they win that handily. I'm going to go 28-14,
Yeah,
all
I, I
touchdowns.
I said handily too. I think it's gonna be a lot like the Bears game where they're just gonna run it and then set up the pass, and then I got Packers 38-24. Big old shootout again for Jordan Love, and he just flashes the talent one more time for all the
Big
fans.
old whooping.
Yeah. And then the Packers fans will be real
Yeah.
happy if that happens again.
Yeah, Lambeau's going to be. Those Lambeau people are going to be all insane.
Raiders at Bills is the next one.
Bills. I don't even know if that's. I don't even know how much time we have to spend on that game. The Bills are going to win that game.
Yeah, Raiders defense has just
Probably
been
handle it.
piss poor. Piss poor. Allen's going to bounce back. I got it. 31-14 Bills. It's going to be a blowout.
I'm going to go almost 50 burger. I'm going to say Bills 45, Raiders 21.
That
Actually,
could
I don't even
happen.
know if the Raiders will score that. I think I'm going to go Raiders 14.
Jimmy Garoppolo just isn't like, I don't know. He just, no faith in him moving the ball down the field. It's just not fun to watch. I feel like it's the most basic offense you'll see when Jimmy G's in there.
Yeah, especially when you don't have. I mean, he's got Devontae Adams, but when you're just surrounding him with guys who are mediocre as well, instead of like in San Fran where he was just with a bunch of guys who are like
All
the best
stars.
in their like position group. And he still was kind of a option. Like, what is he going to bring when it's just all a bunch of guys who are on his level? And I mean, I don't think the fact that they beat Denver at home says more about Denver than it does about them, I feel like. So, but yeah, I think the Bills, especially after last week, they're going to be pissed, and I think they'll go into that game and take care of business pretty easily.
Our next game up, I feel like, is a little similar to this Raiders Bills game. We got the Chargers at the Titans.
Yeah, Chargers are legit.
Yeah,
I think the Chargers
their
are winning that game.
their
And this is the
offense.
year, like, I think that Herbert.
You
Yeah.
should go.
Yeah, I mean, this is the year that Herbert kind of needs to, like, take over. And Joe Staley needs to, or Brandon Staley needs things to really work for him to keep his job, because I think he kind of got away with one by blaming the offensive coordinator the last few years. There was just some dumb decisions I feel like that were made, especially in that game against Jacksonville in the playoffs that led to that absolute collapse. And I don't know how he kept his job after that, but they looked pretty good against Miami. That was a game that could have gone either way. Like, both teams played really well. And yeah, the Chargers just have too much talent. Tennessee's not. Tennessee's like, I think, on the verge of like a complete rebuild. Like, they just have. They're just in that like weird. They remind me a lot of like what the Cardinals were like last year, but like to a lesser extent. Like, I think Vrabel is a good coach, but they just don't have the talent to sustain right now, other than Derrick Henry, obviously.
Yeah, like you said, they're about to be entering a rebuild. I feel like also Tannehill's on his last leg. Like, he's just not gonna be able to get the job done anymore. Like, he's 33 something now. It's poor to watch. If I'm a Titans fan, I just want to see probably the young guys get touches, especially if the offense continues to not show any explosion. Like last week against the Saints, it just maybe one of the most boring games I've ever seen. That 16-15 slugfest.
Yeah,
But I'm taking the Chargers too. Their offense is ridiculous. Justin Herbert should be able to put up crazy stats against the Titans again. 31-21.
yeah. I got to charge up my phone here a little bit. Running low.
Oh,
The end is nigh. Here we go. There we go. So now it looks like a shadowy showed figure in the
shadowy figure.
corner of my screen.
Lumen.
All right. Can you still hear me pretty good?
Yeah.
First episode, we're just rolling by the seat of our pants.
We really are. Getting it rolling.
This should work. All right. All right, what do we got next?
What did you say for the score of that game? Just wondering.
I'll go 28-10 LA.
There we go. 49ers at Rams. And I think this could be a sleeper close game. For some reason,
What was that? Sorry, you broke up.
I said I feel like this could be a sleeper close game for some reason. I'm a little high on the Rams. I took them last week to beat Seattle. I think their defense really performed, and their whole team honestly showed out in that second half of that game, holding Seattle to only I think it was 1 first down and 12 yards, while they put up 200 yards and 20 points on them. So I think this game will be a lot closer than most people think. But I also thought the Steelers would compete with the 49ers. So I'm still going to take the 49ers because I'm not absolutely insane. And they're just, like we've talked about before, they just have all pros all across the field. So, but it's going to be close. 49ers 27-24.
Yeah, I think the Rams kind of surprised a lot of people. I think last week was out of nowhere. I know I didn't think they were going to win that game. I'm shocked at how well Stafford played. But yeah, I still think San Francisco wins this game. But the Rams, there are a lot of young players. I think that kind of adds to like an unpredictability to them. But, if Stafford's playing like this, you still have Sean McVay as your coach. Like, anything can really happen. But, yeah, I'm going to take Niners 31-21.
They had 2 receivers under 23 or something last week go for 100+ yards, and it was the first time since sometime. I don't remember the stat, but it was like the first time in a while.
Seemed like they just had these guys out
They had dogs.
there. They were young and they were out there. It was pretty crazy.
It was wild. Giants at
Wasn't
Cardinals.
Stafford earlier in this year saying that he didn't know how to?
Oh, sorry.
Um,
What
no,
were
you're
you saying
good.
about Stafford, though?
I love
I
how
didn't mean.
raw this podcast is, dude.
Oh, it's gonna be
This is
raw,
just straight
uncut.
raw passion. This podcast.
No, it's just I feel like
I
there's a
know, dude.
semi delay when I'm
Just
talking to
foreskin.
you.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like a delay both ways. It's like we're like two weathermen trying to talk to each other,
Yeah.
like who are shooting on location.
Yeah, I'm like going now to Andy Palm, and you're just like,
Yeah,
I'm here.
back to you. Yeah. But Stafford was saying like earlier this season that he didn't know how to relate to the team. Like he didn't know anybody on the team, and it was like he said that, and it kind of felt like, all right then. Like I guess we'll see what happens. But
Yeah, his
he
wife just
he found a way to make it work. But
shot him under the bus. It was his wife who released that.
yeah, she was like, I mean, he doesn't even fucking know these guys.
It's like he's trying to play shoots and ladders, and these motherfuckers don't give a shit.
Yeah. All right.
The
All right. So what was
Giants
the
and
next game? You said
Cardinals.
Cardinals Giants.
Yes, in Arizona.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah. Giants win, but it's not a blowout. I think the Giants are not as bad as they were last week, but they're not as good as some people think they are. Cardinals are bad, but they're playing hard. And maybe I'm just saying that because they gave the Commanders a run for their money. And you just kind of think, yeah, they're pesky. I mean, they're still football players out there. But, yeah, I think Giants win in a weird game. It'll be like 17-13. And it'll be a game that, like, the Giants win, but they don't feel good about it.
Yeah, I have the exact same thoughts as you. I think this is going to be a lot like the Cardinals Commanders game from last week. The Cardinals are just going to hang around. Their defense did look solid last week, so I don't like the Giants O line, and I think the Cardinals will be able to apply pressure again this week. But the Giants are coming off of the most disappointing loss I've ever seen. Like, getting absolutely stomped out once again by the Cowboys on their home field during 9/11. Just
Just a tip
terrible
top
scenes in New York. But I got them winning. Like you said, 17 points for the Giants. I got 17-14, though.
17-14. All right.
Yeah. And we'll move
All right.
quickly on to
What's our net? We need to power through this last, like, 2 minutes here.
America's team versus the Jets in Jerry World. We all know who we're picking here. I feel like no Aaron Rodgers, just out the window. The
Nope.
Jets' chances went at this game.
Just Zach Wilson out there going off passion alone. A wing and a prayer.
Running off MILFs alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The BYU boy.
Yes.
Is he
The
Mormon?
Yeah, the Mormon pride, I'm pretty sure. That
He
dirty
is.
dog.
Yeah, Cowboys win. But it's not that that Jets defense is still really good. So I'm probably going to go like 24 to like 13. They'll put up a touchdown and a few field goals for the Jets.
See, I thought about that Jets defense and how good it is, but then I thought about Zach Wilson and how many turnovers he's probably going to have against the Cowboys defense, considering the Cowboys forced like 5 against the Giants. I know it was raining, but I can just see this game going to shit show so fast. I got 48-6.
Oh, No faith in
Nah,
the Wilson.
none whatsoever. I hope he proves me wrong. Love to see America's team lose, but
I think it'll be all right.
I think any other team would be like I could see the Jets somehow defense pulling it off, but just how good the Cowboys defense is also against Zach Wilson's, who's never proven he's more than dog shit. I just can't see him being like having a decent game at all.
No, yeah, yeah, I agree. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but I don't think, like I said, I think that Jets defense is. They might have the most talent in the league on that side of the ball. I mean, besides like San Francisco, and they'll keep them in the game if anything else. Because I don't think the Cowboys' offense is as like we were saying in the podcast that never got released.
To
The
uncut.
Cowboys' offense barely had to do anything because Daniel Jones just kept giving the ball back to them like at the 30-yard line, so they had to do like nothing. So we'll see. I mean, who knows? Zach Wilson's probably not going to be too much better, like you said, but we'll see. All right, next game.
Your team, Commanders at Mile High, the Broncos.
It is the alumni weekend in Denver. I think that's the one thing that's like interesting. That could give the Broncos a little boost, but the Broncos are missing a lot of people on offense. I think that the conclusion is being reached that Russell Wilson just isn't the guy that he once was. And I don't think he's ever going back to that. And the defense for Denver is not what it used to be. And I think the Commanders pull it out in a messy one, but I think they win it 20-13. 2017, 20-17.
That
And
is
they hold
very
Denver in the
interesting.
last minute.
That is very interesting that you say 20-17. Both teams to me are very similar teams. They got solid defense with play, but can't figure out the offensive side. The Broncos, though, collapsed last week against a bad team, while the Commanders were able to close the game out against the Cardinals. So I do give the edge to the Commanders. I think just their system's been more established since Ron Rivera's been there for a couple years now, and this is still Sean Payton's second week coaching, like second regular season week coaching at the Broncos. But I got the Commanders
Yeah.
2017
And
also.
I'm pretty sure he hates Russell Wilson.
Yeah, it does seem that way. He just seems to always take shots, it seems like a little bit.
I feel like they're just going to keep getting more and more like excessive as the season goes along. Pretty soon it'll just be like, yeah, he's chewing too fucking loud.
I like how he was like, stop kissing babies. This isn't politics.
Yeah. Yeah. He's just like, stop being friends with the fans.
Yeah.
You suck.
No one likes you, Russ. No one wants you to kiss their baby. Like Dolphins at Patriots.
All right, what do we got? How many more? Yeah, we'll go Dolphins. Dolphins 30-23.
Dolphins. I also have Dolphins just because way more explosive offense than that Mac Jones led Patriots offense, and there's zero talent at wide receiver still. So I got Dolphins 30-20 this time around.
Okay. All right. Have we differed in any of our picks yet?
We have. I got the. I'll tell you where we differ at the end here. but we did take a lot of the same teams. That's just because we're both brilliant, though.
Yeah,
We
we're
differ.
both
Yeah, we
just
differed
fucking
twice.
ear to the ground.
Differed twice, but we might differ on this next game. Saints at Panthers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Saints. For some reason, there's a lot of people really buying the Derek Carr experience in New Orleans, and I'm not buying it to be as great as some feel it is, but I do think it's not enough to move the needle for me to think that they're any better than like the Raiders were with Derek Carr. So I think they're better than Carolina. I think they'll beat Carolina. But yeah, I guess that's all that matters. We're only talking about this game, not their whole damn season. So I'm gonna go,
You're
I'm gonna go
you're
with New
tough.
Orleans over Carolina.
There we go. You're
We're
talking
gonna
to one of those
go.
Derek Carr supporters.
Oh yeah, big Derek Carr guy. You
I
just
just
like
got a
his
feeling.
leadership.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
think he'll
got a
be good
weird
there.
feeling. Okay, store. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
We'll go 21-10.
21-10. Yeah, we're actually gonna agree again because I also had the Saints winning this game. I mean, the Saints. They're just more experienced. Their talent's just better right now. I think the Panthers have potential in a lot of players like Brian Burns and Bryce Young, all those studs. But I don't know. Their O line still has problems, and the Saints D line will probably eat. So I took the Saints 28-13. And I have faith in Derek Carr. I think this sleeper dark horse
Yeah,
MVP for some reason I don't know. I just like their weapons, and I think Carr can distribute the ball well.
yeah. I think Chris Olave. Well, I need Chris Olave to. I took him in like the fourth or fifth round this year or something because I think he'll have a good year with Carr. But yeah, I think
You're
they're
I
a lot
took
like that team 2 years ago that the Raiders had.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying there a lot, honestly. But you're talking to the dude that took like Garrett Wilson in the like fourth round right now or something, and then Aaron Rodgers got hurt, motherfucker. I The final game
All right,
Monday
what are
night,
we?
8-10. Steelers at Browns. There's actually two Monday night games. That Saints and Panthers game is also on Monday night, which is weird. But this
Yeah,
is gonna be some.
they
Oh,
delayed the doubleheader a week for some reason.
yeah, that was weird to me. I don't understand why they decided to do this. Because the Steelers deserve to be the only primetime team. I'm joking. We really don't deserve shit after that week one.
Yeah,
But this is going to be classic AFC North football. Trenches will win this game.
just a complete all hustle and heart game, a body bag game.
Absolutely. I don't know.
I can't wait to hear these delays and like because we're both on like a delay. I just can't wait to hear like
I know. It will
the
be
body bag
interesting.
game and then just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, let's get to this quick because we said we're going to try and hold it under 30 minutes, and we're just a bit over at
Well,
55
we're
minutes
close
right
to
now.
hitting the hour mark. It's a good. That would be a good stopping point. We're near.
Well,
This is the last game.
yeah, I'll go. I'll pick your boys. I think Pittsburgh's going to win. Tomlin just finds a way. Kenny Pickett leads the guys. George Pickens has a late touchdown to win the game. I'm going to go 21-17. Pittsburgh.
You're thinking along the same tracks as me. On paper, I still believe we should have a better offense than we did last year, and our defense should be phenomenal. We are missing Cam Hayward, which will hurt considering they're probably going to pound the rock against us because that's what Cleveland does. And the Browns defense looked amazing week one, but Joe Burrow last year threw like 4 or 5 picks against the Steelers, so that's just a Joe Burrow thing, I think, to do in week one. I'm taking the Steelers 24-21. If we lose to the Browns, I'm going to shoot myself. Just kidding.
Just kidding. We are a non-suicide podcast.
No, we do not. We do not.
Suicide podcast.
Yeah. But seriously, if the Browns beat the
Everybody
Steelers, I'll
loves
be really depressed.
We quickly become a suicide podcast. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
All right. Shall we wrap it up?
Yes, that seems like a good ending spot. We got all the predictions in. We only differed on 2 games, so we'll see what our records are together when we come back on Tuesday.
Some people go for hot takes, others just go for the safe bet. You just go for the.
I'm gonna tell you who's gonna win.
Like consensus wins.
Yeah, we're just gonna tell you.
We're
who
not
wins.
out here to make headlines.
We're not bullshitting you. We're just here to tell you who's gonna win games.
Exactly. For we are the professional casual fans.
Thank you for listening to our first ever podcast episode.
And truly, like, if you've listened to this whole thing, all of these delays, all of just the absolute rough patches, because this, I would categorize this whole thing as just a big rough patch.
We're beginners.
But you got to get through the rough patches to get, you got to get through the rough patches to get to the good stuff. But if you have listened to this, all 57 minutes and 45 seconds, you need to contact us immediately, and we're contacting the officials. And by officials, I mean the police, because something needs to be done. Because we have a stalker, if that's the case.
You might need to go get looked at mentally, because, this is just probably going to be not the best watch. But it will make sense. We got the right Tates. The Tates are right.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're just looking for, like, just clean cut, the most simple take you could possibly have, we're your guys.
We are the casual professional fan, not the professional casual fan.
We're the people. All right.
We are the people.
We'll be back. Exactly. We're the people that Thomas Jefferson was talking about when he said we the people. It's going off the rails. Already went off the rails. Even further off the rails. All right. We are going to be back on Tuesday, and we will see you guys then. We should have a Twitter and Instagram and maybe a YouTube page up in the next few days here, so you're going to have to listen to it somehow. Page. I like that we put this in.
We're going to be putting this on YouTube. I got it all set up. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to edit it a little and probably upload it.
All right. There we go. All right. We'll see you guys on Tuesday, whoever is that one person or who's watching us by accident.
See you, Mom. See you, Logan, on Tuesday.
All right, brother.
All right. I'll see you Tuesday.
Adios, muchachos.
Adios.
All right. Bye-bye.